Hey guys, what's happening? Lockie here, and I'm here with Lucas. Say hello, Lucas.
What up?
We just touched down in Bali. This is actually our first morning here. We flew in late last night. As you can tell, I've had like 4 hours of sleep, but I wanted to record this video and do a bit of like a Bali tour in regards to like the first venue that we're at. It's a pretty cool place. Pretty happy with the villa. Basically what I've been up to this morning is onboarding a couple new team members for the team, which is really exciting. So I'm gonna give you a bit of like a tour of the place that we've got. And while I'm walking around, I'm gonna talk a little bit about what my goal is as one of the co-founders when introducing new team members to the rest of the squad. Because I don't know, I just find that interesting. I like talking about business stuff, and I wanna try and drop some more, I guess, like advice or lessons and mistakes, and document the journey a little bit more of like what we actually do over here. So this is, I guess, like the view. This is my bedroom. So Lucas gave me the master bedroom. So thanks, Lucas. We're gonna flip a coin, but he's just like, I don't give a fuck. So I was like, you're a G. Really nice in here. I've only had about 4 hours sleep. So running on 2 coffees this morning. This is the bathroom. Cool. So when I introduce new teammates, so this morning we had 2 new people come on to our coaching team for our students and clientele. So they're basically be working with the team, welcoming new students on board, and they met the rest of the guys. This is, I guess, like a little outdoor, I don't know what you'd call this, a balcony, I guess. This is the outside. Hopefully the camera doesn't fall in the water. Sick. What I get the team to do is on that first Zoom meeting, because we're a 100% remote company, so we have employees in Perth, we have employees, which is Australia for the non-Australians, we have people in Canada, we have people in New Zealand, Vietnam, Thailand, all around the world basically. This is like the rooftop, nice pool up here. Sweet. So yeah, so we've got people around the world, and so it's really hard to create like a personal connection with people that you've never met in person, right? And so how do you get a team to sync up and feel like they know each other? And one of the ways I like to do that is on the Zoom meetings in the morning, instead of, make sure I don't hit my head, instead of just like saying, hey, my name's John, I'm 26, this is where I'm based, you know, this is a bit about me, I actually like to set some homework for the team and get everyone to answer some questions. So this morning, the questions were, let me actually get them up and show you. As I'm walking through here. It's nice and hot today in Bali. It's 28 degrees and sunny. So the questions were, number 1, when you are tired, pushed to your limit, and your body is screaming at you to call it quits, what aspect of your identity drives you to push even further towards greatness and outside your comfort zone in those testing moments instead of calling it early, and why? Like, describe it. That's the first question. And then the second question is, if you could wish for your teammates to describe how they see you as a teammate, how would they describe you? And like, what are you committed to do more of as of today to ensure they describe you in that way? So let me film this. By the way, this is like one of my first, I guess, like vlog style videos, so bear with me if the videography is a bit choppy. If the videography is choppy on this, just blame Lucas over here. This is one of the other rooms. Nice and set up. I'm not sure what's in here. I haven't actually been in here. Oh, that's just a window. Huh, that's pretty cool. I haven't seen this yet. Did you guys like a bath? So why do I ask those questions? So the reason is vulnerability. Now, we've got like different personalities on our team. And so I find that like when people have miscommunications in companies and there's any friction point with new team members, it's typically because you don't understand the other person well enough. And I find that like if straight off the bat you get strangers in an environment to share like their vulnerabilities and things that they could be improved on, insecurities. It creates a really like trusting environment for, this is the other bedroom. I think this is probably gonna do the same thing. Yeah, similar thing, same setup. I haven't got a bath in my room. That's right, I can use these. It creates a really trusting environment. So let me actually just go into the living room and I can spend a little bit more on this. Yeah, anyway, so that's the villa. Hope you enjoyed that little tour. So the two questions, when you are tired, pushed to your limit, and your body's screaming at you and you want to call it quits, what aspect of your identity drives you to push even further towards greatness and outside your comfort zone in those testing moments instead of calling it early? And why? Describe it. So that's a really good question. So the reason I ask people to do that is because I find that so many of us are on like zombie mode when we go through our day-to-day life. And I know I was for a really long period of time where you just kind of like ticking the boxes, you're going through your daily routine, you're doing what needs to be done to just get to the end of the day to then repeat it. And I've found that the biggest inflection points in my life where I'm traveling along and I go, boom, there's been few and they're very far between. However, it's something like deeper, it's something like identity driven that pushes me to make that happen. And so my answer for this, I'll share it with you, was obsession. So I have a very obsessive personality. And you know what, let me put my blue light glasses on because I'll look 20% smarter. When I feel stupid in conversation, this is like my shortcut, by the way, to feel more intelligent. It's obsession. So I have like a very obsessive personality. So when I was younger, I was obsessed with skateboarding. And then I was obsessed with drawing, and then I got obsessed with health and fitness, now I'm obsessed with business. And so when I find that I'm at a rope's end, and I want to call it quits, and it's at the end of the day, and I've got nothing left in the tank, I have like an obsessive like personality that just kicks into overdrive, and that's like a character trait that I view as a part of my identity that allows me to do things that someone without that character trait wouldn't be able to do. And so I'd be interested for you to like think about this and ponder yourself, because it's a really interesting question, because when you sit down and you have those introspective moments, when you're meeting, you're being onboarded into a new company or meeting a new social circle, I've found that the more awareness you can have on yourself, the less judgment, well sometimes you may feel a bit more judged, but the less like insecure you're gonna feel going into the social environment, because the more you know yourself. And the more you know yourself, the more conviction you have in your own identity, your own self-esteem. When you go into the environment, it influences you less. You're a little bit more of a rock rather than like a kite in the wind. So that's the first thing. And it's really interesting to hear if you have teammates and hear what theirs are. Because if you're on a team, and the way that I view our company isn't a company, this isn't a job where everyone just shows up and does what they need to do. I'm really proud that our company, people show up and we're like a high performance championship sports team. And so for us to be able to perform at the highest level as a team, we all have to know what drives each other. And what drives each other isn't just salary or bonuses or time off work or anything like that. It's actually the characteristics of your identity. And if you know what that is for all of your teammates, you can like tap into it. If you want a teammate to be doing something better, you can tap into that. You don't say, hey man, you showed up late, whatever. You tap into them and say, dude, I know something that drives you at a deep identity level is always performing at your best. And so when you show up late, you're not performing at your best, man. And so it's not about the late thing, it's about always showing up at your best. Let's make that happen today. You can inspire people to live up to the best version of themselves, and most importantly, you can do it for yourself. Question number 2 is, if you could wish for your teammates to describe how they see you as a teammate, how would they describe you? And what are you committed to do more of as of today to ensure they describe you in that way? Now, the reason I ask this question is because it forces each teammate to almost have a third-party perspective of themselves, their own actions, and how they do things and how they're seen within the team. That's super important because it allows you to, number one, communicate to your teammates how you want to be seen, and that indirectly or pretty directly communicates values, right? So it's pretty important if you're on a mission with a team to go somewhere and achieve a big goal, that you understand the values of each of your teammates and how you're going to treat each other on the way. And you can ask that in like a what's your values type question, which would be better than honestly most onboarding for most companies that I've ever worked at, because I've never been sat down and asked these questions, and I've never shared this stuff with any employee or company that I've ever been a part of in regards to like joining them. All their onboarding processes, you go around, you shake the hand, you meet the other people on the team, but this is like really getting to know people off the bat. So when they need to sit down for lunch or find some, even though we're remote, right? But if you did this, you have to go sit down in the lunchroom. You feel way more comfortable going to sit down next to someone because you didn't just find out that they like sports. You've actually communicated a deep aspect of your identity and why you're here and doing what you do, and so are they. So you feel in sync way faster. So I think it's pretty cool. And so this question, how I answered this, because as a co-founder, or I refer to myself as like the team coach, because I'm just a teammate along with everyone else. It's, for me, I care, what I want my team to understand, and I really hope that they do, and I believe that they do, is I care so much more about their personal development and seeing each individual team member maximize their potential rather than just what they can do for the company, right? Because as a founder, I'm financially incentivized to get everyone on the team to work as much as they can so the company does better and I do better, right? However, that's such a lame vision. It's not even a vision at all, in my opinion. And so many founders and leaders, and I refer to them as like team coaches, they lead their teams in a way where everyone on the team knows the coach only gives a shit about his accolades, about his rewards, how he's being seen. And I don't find that inspiring at all. I've been led by people like that. And what I try to do, as much as I can, is, because it genuinely is true and comes from the heart, obviously I'm biased, but I believe it does, is I look at every single one of my team members and I'm like, dude, you could be doing so much more. Like, your potential, man, is up here. Like, put the fucking business aside. Like, put how it's going to benefit me aside. Even if you don't do it with us and you do it with another company, or even by yourself eventually, if you wanted to go do your own thing, your potential's up here, man, and you're operating down here. How do we get you here? Like, I love being a part of that growth journey for all my team members, and it's really inspiring to see them show up, trip over, stumble, and I can be there to dust, help them stand up, dust off, and get back on the horse every single day. So my answer to that question was, I want to be seen as a teammate who cares more about the personal development and maximizing the potential for each of my teammates more than the benefit of the outcome that they're going to produce is going to benefit me. And my method of doing that is a fine balance, because I have to hold people to a very high standard, a standard that most teams and people would be deeming unreasonable, like an unreasonably high standard, so they can continually break through. I would refer to them as like identity constraints, because what you produce, in my opinion, the quality of your life is a reflection of the quality of your identity and where you're at in that journey so far. So I have to push people through that and hold them to a very high standard. But I have to do it in a way that doesn't come across as me just trying to crack a whip for the sake of the company. And so how I try to do that is by telling all my awesome teammates that I am pushing you and holding you to this standard because the potential you have is so much higher than where you're at. And it's not just my belief in that, but it's also the proof of the progress that you've made so far within the company. So that's how I plan to do it, so that they know that Lockie's here because he wants to see me win, not just see me win so it can benefit him. So those are the two questions that I asked. And if you're a founder, or you're building a team, or you're a part of a team, and you really want to get in sync with new teammates or existing teammates, I highly recommend you set a bit of a homework challenge on what actually is it that drives us, and how do we want to be seen by our teammates. Another really, just stuff that gets people really vulnerable and super uncomfortable. Like, can you imagine going into a new company, meeting a team of like 20 people that you've never met before, and being asked to talk about one of your biggest insecurities off the bat in front of people? It's really challenging, right? And so I only ask people to share what they're willing and comfortable to share. However, the bond it builds, it's like a family. And so when we're in those tough moments, you're not surrounded by a bunch of strangers that are on the other side of a laptop screen halfway around the world. You're surrounded by a bunch of other team members who have your back, they know why you're here, and they can hold you to a higher standard and push you further than anyone, maybe even in your personal life, has ever pushed you before. So that's just a tip. That's worked really well to help us build a really awesome culture and team of winners here, where people come in, they feel immediately in sync, or as a good thing, they come in like, look, this is too personal, this is not what I want to be a part of, let me go do a more normal 9 to 5, which is totally okay, there's no judgment there, but I want to find that out as fast as possible so they can go on the path that's right for them, and we can keep all the people in our company who are on that path and have the same vision. So I highly recommend you do a similar thing at your company. Try and introduce it if you're a team leader. 100%, even if you don't do it publicly with everybody on board, if you're a team leader or a founder, you 100% have to do it on an individual one-on-one basis with people who come into your company. I can probably talk about this in another video, but one thing I also do is get every new team member to fill out like a 30-minute self-assessment application, who they are, their career so far, what the inflection points were, why they feel like they were that, what fears they have working for us, what constraints and challenges they've had in coaching partnerships before with their managers, to get a lot of clarity. So yeah, that was my morning. Right now we're here. I have to do a whole bunch of like quality control stuff for the rest of the day. Lucas is over there filming some content for our clientele to help them get better results, which is really awesome. I'll probably get in a gym session and yeah, maybe record some more videos. This is the start of me trying to like document the journey a little bit more. So these videos, they're not going to be like super highly produced or crazy edited or anything like that. I'm just going to kind of talk about things that I find interesting for me. I've been on this entrepreneurship journey for about 8 years now. It's been a long one, filled with many mistakes. So hopefully I can share some insights that help you with progress on your journey, and I'll see you in the next one.